You show me what you got. I'll tell you where to put it.
I'm pulling them right now because it feels good.
Oh, I mean, Finnan really is a fucking babe. I mean, the accent.
Welcome back, Pot Coven. You're here with Ella, Jazz, and Jess, and we are diving into a month-long block involving magic. All things magic, different ways that you practice, different tips and tricks. This week, our episode is for anyone looking to gain awareness, understanding, and support along their journey within their own health and emotional well-being. And I have a little quote to share with you. Practicing magic is the art of giving energy towards a desired outcome for yourself, someone else, or your community through focusing the intent and creative power of your conscious imagination. It is the magic of the soup pot. It is the magic of the teacup. It is the magic of the candle. It is the magic of a story. It is invisible magic. Healing magic is centered in the heart. Healing magic is the art of allowing the magic in no matter where you find yourself. It is the flowing and following of the cycle with intention and wisdom. It is the daily experience of using natural objects, of herbs as food, of simple ceremony. It is the reawakening of the senses we had as children, a return to the ground of human beingness, a reconnection with the earth, gladness that touches the heart. Healing magic brings you home to yourself, to your own rhythms and timing, guiding you to dream and help you bring those dreams into being. And this is an excerpt from the Healing Magic Green Witch's Guide book to Conscious Living by Robin Ross Bennett, forward by Susan S. Weed, and arranged by me.
Oh, excellent.
Nice.
That's a fun little intro. I'm excited we're talking about magic. I feel like we haven't talked about like magic specifically for a hot minute, so it'll be nice to dip back into this for a bit. So, who wants to start? Who wants to start talking about healing stuff? What kind of magic do you guys use? Because when it comes to healing, I actually don't do too much of it. So I really only have like two things to share personally.
It's kind of one of those things that you just get like this routine down or something that like serves you, and you tend not to like branch outside of it because you find what works for you.
Yeah, I would say sticking with a couple methods is usually best. Like definitely like try shit out and find what works. But yeah, I'm kind of on team like, yeah, I have a few things in my toolbox that I always fall back on because they work for me. Definitely.
I'd love to hear what you've got in your toolbox, Ella, our plant
My
mama.
toolbox. Well, yeah, definitely plants. That's a big one. So for like natural healing, if you're doing healing spells, it can be both physical or metaphysical. So you can kind of like take this however you guys want, whatever kind of healing you're doing. But for me, I love to lean on plants just because that's what I know. That's what I work most closely with. And I also work real closely with like my own home. So a lot of what I do is going to be like in my kitchen. So like if attitudes in the house are, clashing, or if we're, just the energy is kind of like, ugh, like what's going on here, with the family, how sometimes it just gets, I'll usually take some like rosemary or some thyme and just kind of go through the house with a lit smoke wand, kind of clear it out. I also like to cook with herbs for the intention of like healing, especially fall until, the end of winter, especially warm foods with lots of herbs and, as many veggies and fruits as you can get in there. I really like, for healing, I really like rosemary. That's one of my like top herbs for healing. Thyme's a really good one. I can't remember if that one is metaphysically for healing, but like the herb properties are really strong. Like it's good for respiratory issues and all kinds of things. So definitely, if you have herbs available to you, do a little dive into what they do, because you'll find a lot of uses and benefits from just like your most basic herbs, cinnamon, bay leaves, like almost anything you possibly have in your little spice cabinet, even if it seems basic, is probably actually, pretty dang beneficial. And then while I'm cooking and adding these things with their properties and adding them with that intention, I also like to either stir clockwise to kind of like infuse the magic into it, or like if we are actually physically sick, I'll stir it counterclockwise as a means of kind of like, hey, let's clear this shit up, as kind of like a banishing to the sickness. I'm like, get the hell out of here. Yeah. Yeah.
So I was actually reading a story while I was looking into different healing modalities, and there was a lady who lived in New York, and on her walk home from work every day, she would pick weeds, and she would eat or make a tea or something. She would ingest these weeds that she was taking from around her environment, and it helped her heal herself physically.
Yeah, there's a lot of nutritional science about how eating closer to where you live is just so insanely beneficial, like for your body. So I try to hit farmers markets whenever I can. If I'm gonna use honey, I use local honey, like anything I can get local, I really try to do, or as close as possible. For me, if I can't find something, stuff made on the West Coast is also good enough. I'm like, okay, that fits. That's close as we're gonna get, Yeah, but I'm in full agreement with that just like it might not cure all your ailments, because I don't know what your specific ailments are, listener, but it definitely improves your general health and just the energy around you consuming food and you being a consumer in life.
I have a comment on the healing specific ailments. I think that has so much to do with our mental state and the way that we just think and process the world, because if our mind doesn't believe that it's going to get better, it's not going to get better, and there's next to nothing that's going to help you make it better. Western medicine does have things that will treat the symptoms and treat those kinds of things, but it's still, you stop taking them, you'll go back to the way that you were, because your body and your soul aren't in alignment.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm a firm believer that like Western and Eastern medicine or holistic medicine really needs to be like so interwoven in tandem, because like, of course Western medicine is amazing, but yeah, for certain things, certain illnesses that people have, they just give you the pill, they give you something that, like you said, you have to take it for the rest of your life, or they don't talk about anything that you made, any lifestyle choices that you made, or weren't aware that you were making that are a direct cause and effect to this illness. Like there is a big blind spot in Western medicine. We can all agree on that. And definitely getting in touch with plants, getting in touch with our mind, body, and spirit would heal us so much. But of course, that's just a rabbit hole conversation of talking about why the Western medicine complex is like that. And we don't have time for that today.
Some of our souls chose this journey for a reason, and we weren't all meant to heal ourselves, our bodies completely. I mean, I know that might be a dreary thought, but some of us weren't. Some of us don't want that. Some of us on a soul level don't want that. We want to experience the full, like, this is humanness right now.
Yeah.
And that might be you, it might not be you. That's for you to figure out.
Although I would say the ultimate physician would have knowledge of Eastern medicines, Western medicines, and astrology.
Hell yeah.
That'd be like, that's like my ultimate doctor. I'm like, okay, I'm down. I trust you.
And it's a woman, and just personally at this point in my life, I'd rather not see male doctors.
You know what? I am a little more sensitive to that now than when I was younger, like in my early 20s, it didn't really bother me. But then now that I've gone through so many, like just going through medical things, like with men as doctors, especially with my kids, I'm like, not saying men don't make good physicians. They absolutely do. There's tons of great male doctors out there. But for me, comfortability wise, I don't feel good with a man in the room with me. Like, I just don't feel good. I'm like,
Sticking his fingers inside of your body.
Yeah, I'm like, no offense, you're great at your job, I'm sure, but please don't touch me.
It's honestly just a numbers game. Like, that's really all it boils down to. It's a numbers game. Like, the fact of the matter is, it's more likely that the doctor is going to not listen to you and not really do his job up to the caliber that you deserve if it is a man. And that's just more likely. So, yeah.
But I've also had shitty female doctors, too.
Absolutely.
So. But you're right. It is a little more likely
just a little more likely.
Yeah. From our panel of statisticians.
It is such a male-dominated industry, though, that a lot of times even the women that go through the schooling and whatnot, they're surrounded by men, and they start like embracing those qualities, or already had them in their astrology chart to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah, of course, our healthcare system has so much to improve upon worldwide.
But that's why we're here talking about Magick.
Exactly.
This is not a replacement for whatever you're doing with the medical industrial complex. If you have prescriptions, please continue taking them. Do not discontinue any treatment that you need to receive because of this podcast. We do not condone that. Stay on your path. But using Magick can give you a little boost. It can give you a feeling of not control, but having a say in what's going on.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. If you break your leg, you probably need a doctor.
Yeah. If you break your leg, don't put crystals on it. Go to the freaking ER.
Yeah.
Or do both.
But take your crystal with you.
Yeah. Take your crystal with you to the ER. My family has this salve that we make. And it's like a very old family tradition. And the old wives' tale about it is that some traveling salesman ended up at their farm and broke his leg, and they put the salve on the leg and it broke the broken leg, and then he gave him the recipe and yada yada.
That's so funny.
If you do want to holistically heal a broken bone, I have a salve for you. Just kidding. No, it really is a miracle. And I always keep, because I have plenty of cans of it, I always keep an amethyst crystal on top of it just to supercharge it, But yeah, it's really good for scars and cuts. I don't use Neosporin, I use this. It smells absolutely disgusting, but I kind of like it at this point in my life.
The best things do. I used to get mad at my mom because she would make stinky foods, but now I'm the mom with the stinky foods, but my stinky foods are delicious.
Yep.
Whatever. Fuck off, everyone. I'm hungry.
Eat this broccoli.
Eat my fucking broccoli.
Oh my gosh.
Love broccoli.
I used to cook at the daycare, and we would have to make a lot of it to feed all of the classrooms. And whole broccoli is horrible when it is cooked. The smell. It tastes good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yes, no, I agree. Same with asparagus. It's kind of stinky, or your pea stinks after, but it's really delicious.
Yeah, I mean your farts stink after broccoli, but it's so good.
I never noticed that.
Oh no? Oh, I can always smell a broccoli fart.
Maybe I haven't eaten enough, because broccoli is a new veggie for me. Broccoli I've been eating for only the last maybe 6 months, so I haven't actually eaten enough to have the broccoli toots. So.
Ooh. Yeah.
That'll be new.
It's got to be when you have a broccoli dish. That was one of the only vegetables that me and my brother and sister liked, but my mom would also make a cheese sauce for it, so that also helped. So then we'd sit down and eat a bunch of broccoli, and our farts were rancid.
With the cheese too.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Maybe
your mom was so brave. She was so desperate for you guys to just eat your damn vegetables for once and shut up and just eat them. She suffered through broccoli cheese farts.
Yep.
Wow.
That's my mom's from the Midwest, so I don't know, maybe it's Midwest thing also, cheesy broccoli, cheesy cauliflower, it was a staple a few times a week.
Yeah.
I was just picky, so I'd never eat it.
My mom's from the Midwest, so.
Mine too. Aw.
Oh, cute.
Bunch of Midwest mamas.
So one of the primary healing things that I do is to like create light within inside my body, and then I focus it on the area that needs the healing. You know, it's like a very meditative thing. You have to be fairly good at meditating. I'm definitely not an expert, and I've used it to heal myself many times. And it's also another thing that works really well in tandem with, you know, any sort of Western medicine if you're at that point in time. But like, you know, if your ankle hurts and you're like, oh, I don't want it to hurt anymore, you could just lay down in your bed, close your eyes, really try to focus that energy and pull it down towards your ankle and really hold it there as long as you can. And of course, you know, with that, you have to understand that when you're doing this, it's not just about that white light. It's about understanding that that white light has healing powers and that you are sending the energy of healing there towards that leg. So the first time you try this, it might not work. It might take some practice, but I've had this work on me many times, but there are also times when I do it that it doesn't work, you know, and it comes down to you and like your ability to really bring that energy to that part of your body. But it's very helpful. It's a helpful thing in my toolkit.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me a lot of Reiki, actually.
Right. Definitely in the same vein.
Just the channeling of the energy and you're sending it, directing it there. And with Reiki, I'm sorry, I say it different every single time because I have a speech impediment. But it's the laying of hands. And so you can relate that back to like biblical times. Jesus would lay hands on injured and sick and dying people and heal them. And he was just channeling life force energy to the ailment. And that's all that it was. That's all that Reiki is.
Yeah.
And it works better the more connected you are to it, and with the more practitioners that you have doing it and channeling it to that area. So there's numerous scientific accounts of people being healed from all sorts of different cancers, different broken bones, things like that, just through the use of channeling that life force energy.
Yeah, dude, I did it on myself one time when I was really, really, really poor a couple of years ago. Like, did not have any money, could not go to the, you know, sliding scale clinic, but I saw white spores in the back of my throat, and I was like, oh, I cannot have strep throat right now. And I just laid in my bed when I was going to bed, and I focused so hard on that healing energy in my throat. And I shit you not, I woke up the next morning and it was gone. Now, I have tried that. I have tried that other times with strep throat, and it hasn't worked. But at least one time in my life, it really was, you know, quite the miracle healing that I performed on myself. So it's definitely possible.
I wonder the difference between your mind states in those different times that you tried it.
Yeah, I think it was like the pure necessity. Whereas the times I've had strep throat in the past since then, it's like, I can afford to see a doctor. Oh, I can afford to, you know, get on the antibiotics. But that was like, you know, and a lot of times when you're working with desperation and you're trying to manifest any sort of outcome from a desperate place, you know, they say that it doesn't work. And yet in that instance, it was like, I you know, maybe in that moment I wasn't feeling desperation. I was just like using all that I had in me to really send that healing energy because I knew it was desperate. But like maybe in that moment I wasn't, quote unquote, desperate. I don't know. Something to think about, something to reflect upon.
Yeah. I like that. Yeah, actually, going back to the whole laying of hands thing, that's where I figured out that I could do that was at church, because this like pastor was like, oh, we're gonna come up and like lay hands on people, and then I put my hands on someone's back and it got super hot. I think I've told this story before, but it's relevant to the episode, so I'm gonna tell it again. And my hands started getting like super hot, and then the lady like started walking around and being like, oh, my back is healed, and I was like, oh, that's dope, I was part of that. But yeah, I mean, and when I do it now, I actually have the discipline to like visualize shit. And I do a lot of like energy pulling. I don't know what that would be called, but like especially for my husband with like headaches, I'll like pull the nasty energy like out of him and kind of like, shake it off, or I'll like ring a bell or something and just be like, be gone, bitches. Swim away. But
on that note, it is so important to remember that none of this has to be like super fucking serious or super fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
It can be fun.
Very true. I actually enjoy, doing little healing sessions and like, bust out the crystals, rub some oil, ring some bells, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's fun. It feels magical. I'm like, ooh, I'm so mystical. Look at me. Energy healing.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good rule for all of Magick, by the way, listeners. It does not have to be super serious. If it feels right to be serious, then do it. But know that there is so much space for levity.
Yeah, well, and there's a difference between like approaching the craft with respect and then just like never being able to have a good time. Like you can still enjoy something while you're respecting it. So just, try to understand those boundaries. Don't like go stepping over your lane or, anything like that. That's not cool. But, if you're having fun with your spirits and your gods, cracking jokes, spirits are still animated, they still have personality and they still have preference, and so some of them like jokes. My grandpa was a jokester, so sometimes I'll just tell stupid dad jokes to people like just in his memory, and I can just like feel him laughing about them. Oh my god. Okay, wait, I've got a joke. Everyone's gonna love this.
I was hoping.
Okay. Why does your penis stand up when you look in the mirror? Because it thinks you're a pussy too.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, wait. I have one more. What did Cinderella say when she got to the ball?
You're so proud of yourself.
I know. I really am. Yeah, those are compliments of my husband. But they made me laugh, so, if there's anywhere for dick jokes, it's here.
This is the place.
True that.
This is the platform.
And don't get mad at me for saying pussy, okay? Just chill out, everybody. It's a fucking joke.
I thought that was like a new thing everybody was saying right now.
What,
Everybody's
pussy?
talking about it.
Pussy?
Oh, pussies?
Pussies?
I mean,
everybody's always been talking about it, but like they're like specifically
Should.
talking about it now.
Yeah, like wet-ass pussies.
Oh.
Yeah. Like
wet ass pussy. I walked into our
I don't
kitchen.
want to ask pussy, by the way.
Right.
I just want a regular one.
Okay. This is part of the joke, is that I walked into the kitchen and my roommate was washing the dishes, and I was like, "You ever thought about the sentence or the phrase wet ass pussy? Like, if you really think about it, it feels like we're talking about butt cheeks instead, right?" And she just started busting up laughing. It's like we use ass as like some sort of superlative, but like ass is still ass, so like wet ass pussy. My ass pussy, I think, is my butt.
Or like in between where they connect.
Yeah. Is that the gooch or the It's
I
a
don't know.
different
I
name.
know that's on men.
No,
Is
yeah.
That's on us, is it? Maybe.
No, we have that space between. I mean, we all got that little canal.
We call it a chode.
A chode? No, a chode is like a small like soup can dick.
What?
Yeah.
A little chode, like a chody dick.
That's cute.
It's different. They're like, I can't think of what the other phrase is. It's gooch and taint. I think taint is for women and gooch is for men.
Yeah.
Yes, taint. Yep.
So wet ass pussy is really about the taint. There you go.
Well, taint that beautiful.
Anyway, does someone want to talk about healing? I don't know.
What?
There you go.
Heal your pussy.
Heal your pussy is the next episode.
Use your pussy to heal. Just.
Well, I mean, she's good at cleaning herself, That's a form of healing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a miracle of itself, that you don't have to clean it all the time. Or you shouldn't.
Yeah, you should not. But so many women are told that they should. Because
I
like
know,
it
that's
smells. It's like, welcome to your vagina.
it's a body
And
part.
when
Like it
you
has a scent.
stop cleansing it regularly, and then your pH is off, and you're gonna smell worse.
Right, because then it has to fix itself. Like that thing is
Mm.
balanced. That vagina knows what to do.
Yeah, it also has to do with your diet too. There's a lot of factors to vagina health. So, do
And
Only
some.
if you're better educated.
my balance is not your balanced, and I might run a little more acidic. You might run a little more alkaline, and those are gonna smell different.
True.
And
True.
also, your pussy is gonna smell after you have sex with a new dick. That's
Yes.
just science as well, because it's a chemical thing once again.
Or if you change your laundry detergent or
There
buy
you
a
go.
new pair of clothes,
Yep.
there's lots of stuff
Have a
that affects
period.
vagina health.
Or
Periods.
you're just sweaty and you've been crossing your legs all day, and then you stand up and you're like, oh wow, okay,
Yeah. Or
someone's here.
you're exclusively a night sweater. I
Yeah.
literally do not sweat unless it's nighttime. It's
Wow, that's
fucking
frustrating.
weird. I only sweat in my sleep. I don't know. But I just take morning showers. It's all good.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, cleanliness is actually a good way to practice health. And in the same way, practicing protection magic will keep your magical health in check. So that's important to note too. If we're going to talk about protection and preventative measures, protect yourself if you're doing, rituals and spells. If you're going to invite anybody, set up a circle so that you have a container and make sure you take that circle down when you're done. Keep some salt around. Salt is one of my favorite cleansing, protective pieces of magic arsenal. Like I have salt in all corners of my house.
You can bathe in it. You can set
Yeah.
it up around the perimeters of your home.
Mm-hmm.
That's more protection, but I mean, that
Yeah.
can also be healing.
I like the salt baths for healing too. Epsom or sea salt, both really, really good healing baths.
And if you like salt,
Sounds-
you can go to the beach. The beach is a
Yeah.
little bit lighter than most places because of how much salt there is in the air.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's fun.
Fun
That's a
fact.
fun little fact. I enjoy that.
Go to the
All
beach if
that
you can.
Gemini placement. This episode of the Power Through podcast has been brought to you by BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp is an online platform with licensed therapists who are ready to help you wherever you might exist across the multiverse. Now, you must be 18 years or older to use this service, and BetterHelp is not a crisis line, but you can start communicating with someone within 24 hours. They have financial aid available to qualifying individuals. This is a secure, convenient, and affordable platform for your counseling services. Use the URL betterhelp.com/witchy to get your first week free.
This episode is brought to you by Let's Get Checked at-home health testing system. Let's Get Checked is all about personal health testing, making healthcare and health screening open and patient-led, empowering people to use technology in a simple but powerful way, and giving greater control to their personal health. They have a range of tests, including STD testing across all genders, fertility tests, celiac tests, general wellness, and more. Use the code WITCHY on letsgetchecked.com at checkout for 20% off your purchase.
Speaking of bathing and showering and whatnot, there's some fun rituals that you can do for cleansing yourself, which is healing, because then you're ridding yourself of the energies you've collected through the day. And like just standing in your shower water, envisioning all of the yuck and the things that you've collected just literally washing down the drain. And you can envision that water as a glowing like gold light and inviting in energy and charging yourself, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Or if you have eucalyptus nearby, throw some of that in your shower too. Or the oil. That's what I like. I like those in my shower. Just put a little on a damp cloth at the bottom of my shower, some eucalyptus oil, and then the whole shower is just like.
That sounds
So nice.
fabulous for any time you're sick.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Especially when we're sick. But if I'm feeling kind of down, like I'm like, or sometimes peppermint for that too. I'll use either peppermint or eucalyptus in the shower and just be like, okay, I feel feel rejuvenated, feel, light. And then, yeah, imagining water in certain colors or certain textures or with certain properties. I like imagining shit. That's one of my favorite magic tools is visualization.
Right. That's an incredibly important magical tool. Like our creative side, our imagination is where our intuition is, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That is the seat of it. So the more you, which is also circling back to an earlier point, why it's important to have fun with magic, because that's where like the playful creativity comes in, and that's when your intuition really gets to let loose, and that's how you are, divinely guided to certain things and certain rituals and certain moments and certain people.
It was very healing to be guided to you two.
Oh,
I agree.
Sure was.
It came at a great point in just development in general. I feel like we all came together right as we were like, okay, I'm ready to grow now. I need some people to grow with. And we're like, bam, bam, bam. Like, oh, okay, cool. The squad.
And then we clung to each other as the world crumbled around us.
We have such a good apocalypse story. I'm so proud.
At least until the internet breaks.
Oh, God.
Right, and then we're fucked.
The internet's not going to break.
That's not happening in our timeline.
No, if it happens in this timeline, I'm jumping to another one. Sorry.
I got a train portal in my backyard. Do you want to come use it?
Perfect. Crystals are really great for healing. I say as I continue to rub this one on me, because my head always hurts. It's a smoky quartz, but it's like a very light. You can't it looks pretty clear in here. It also needs to be cleaned out because it's soaking up a lot of negative energy. Yeah, true that. I'll put it out. Is that a labradorite?
Yes.
Ooh, I love labradorite. It's so gorgeous.
It's such a magical stone. It's really great for manifestation, and I just call it the magic stone because I feel like it can do everything.
It's so shiny. It's so pretty.
Did you know that rainbow moonstone is actually white labradorite?
Wow. No,
right?
I did not.
Doesn't that make so much sense? If you when I found that out, I started looking at all my rainbow moonstones. Moonstone is its own thing. I think it's a type of quartz, but rainbow moonstone is actually white labradorite. So if you look at white moonstones, you'll start to kind of see that texture.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I have both of them very close to me, so I just tested it out. Never really
you see
thought
all the
about it.
flashes and shit.
Yeah, because this moonstone is very shiny, pretty, but I have a rainbow moonstone ring, and it's so labradorite in the way that it flashes and catches the light. That's so interesting.
I want to see it.
It's this ring, but you won't really be able to see it, I don't think.
No, but kind of. It's a little flashy. I see it a little bit.
I love rings.
I just got this guy today. For those of you who can't see, it is a desert rose selenite.
Nice.
I like
and
this.
It blows my mind because it's like petrified wood almost.
Right.
Yeah, because it is some type of
silica.
Yeah, I guess it's a growth, not a process like the petrified wood. Actually, I was gonna say it might be similarly composed, but it's really not because it just grows that way. I like it's kind of basic, but I really love rose quartz for healing.
Oh, that's a must-have in the arsenal.
Yeah, especially head things, love things, heart things. I mean, all things really. It's just
yeah.
Great for the heart chakra.
Yeah, good for rubbing on that heart chakra.
If you can correspond your stones with your chakra system and then infuse that with Reiki or other kinds of energy channeling healing, you'll be set to just heal all day long.
Yep, definitely. Don't forget to rest in between.
Right.
Recharge.
Some of those moments, though, really are just so restful. lying there meditating, channeling the energy, and being with my crystals, that's like some of my most healing moments.
I really I rub them on myself a lot.
Yeah, you
So
do.
I do. Never
Everywhere.
never
I
on the
do.
vagine, but
I do.
that's just because I don't have the right shaped ones. I don't got a good
Yeah.
one for that.
Shout out to shock rubs.
I
Oh,
feel like
real.
this palm stone is like great for that if you're like in a pinch. Some of us don't have the money to spend on shock rubs sometimes.
Right.
But if you're listening, you should spend money on shock rubs. Thank you. Use code witchy. I mean, I would like one definitely at some point. Also, just because
Definitely.
like, what a great conversation piece. Here's my
Right?
crystal
For real.
dildo.
You want to see my crystal collection? What's that one? Well, let me tell you.
Plus, like, you could do some great sigil work with that. You just put the lube on, and you
Mhm.
create the sigil with the
Yes.
lube
Ooh,
on
like
the dildo, and then you do some sex magic, and then boom, there you go.
I like that.
Mm.
I have a crystal yoni egg set, and it's obsidian. And I always get shit from other like psychics and healers because they're like, obsidian's such a dark stone. It sucks up so much energy. And I'm like, yeah, I got lots of trauma. I've had 3 babies. That's what I'm looking for. But I like obsidian for being a mom because, yeah, I carry like just all the trauma of having been pregnant, of bringing life into the world, and of all the fucking generations of women who've done it before me. It's just all in there. So I love my little obsidian yoni egg set. I cleanse it as often as I can because it does, just siphon all that nasty shit, all that nasty energy. But I love it. I think it's great. I love obsidian. But yeah, you got to cleanse them, take care of them, love them.
So speaking of statement pieces, I used to sell Pure Romance
Hell
Yay!
yeah.
a while
I
ago.
love pure romance.
Me too.
So in all of the stuff that I didn't end up selling, I had it in a big suitcase. And so I just started going through it and was like, oh, well, that toy looks nice. Started using it for myself. So I had one because I just never really bought myself one. I'm not a masturbator, whatever. I'm regularly doing that now, just so you know. I have
Good for you.
grown in that area. But I have one, and I don't really hide it very well, so it regularly falls out of my closet and whatnot. And that's a pretty fun conversation.
I mean,
Have
at this
you met my
point,
dildo?
right? At this point, how can people even be embarrassed anymore? Are people really embarrassed about masturbating? Is that still a thing? That feels so 90s.
I'm sure it is for some people, but probably not most
Yes.
people listening to this podcast,
No.
nor on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, just to me, I'm like, I don't go around like talking about masturbating a lot, but at the same time, someone's like, oh, you masturbate. I'm like,
So
duh. No shit. Like, doesn't everyone?
When I was like 22, I went out with my sister and I went out with my sister's friends. My sister wasn't in the country, but I would hang out with her friends. And they're all 5 years older than me. And we were like on bar number 3 or something, and I can't remember what this guy was saying to me, but I think he was trying to come on to me and whatnot. And I was like getting in his face like, I'm going to go home and make myself come tonight because that's what I do and I'm fucking good at it,
Yeah.
One of my sister's friends was like, Jazzy, stop. No, don't. And I was like, I'm 22 years old, okay? I flick the bean, all right?
I flicked the bean. Yes. Oh my god. Yeah. I find
that's a great
masturbation
healing
great.
modality.
It is.
Yeah.
It's very healing. Well, because like sex in general is a good way to heal, you kind of heal like through like not necessarily, it could be play, but it's kind of that like letting your inhibitions down and kind of just going where your intuition leads and just following the trail of shit to your orgasm. Or if you don't, an orgasm doesn't even have to be like the full goal of it either. You can literally just flick the bean and then be like, oh, gotta get going to my appointment. Be back later, whatever.
So all I could picture after you said the trail of shit was the wet ass pussy.
The taint and the gooch, perhaps.
God, somebody posted a meme about a wet ass possum, and I was fucking dying. I don't remember what it was, but it was just a picture of a wet possum.
I saw a TikTok of this woman who's like, so I've been trying to create a Kids Bop version of WAP, and it was very funny, but WAP was changed to waffles and pancakes as opposed to wet ass pussy.
Oh, I love
That
that.
sounds delicious, though.
Dude.
I loved it.
Oh my
It's so
God.
ridiculous.
I kind of like it.
Yeah,
I'm down.
it's like grab a fork and a knife for these waffle and pancakes.
That's great.
Oh my God. Dude, Kids Bop tries way too hard. Like some of the songs they cover, I'm like, why? That doesn't need a kid's version.
Well, in some of them, they change certain lyrics that you're like, why did you change that lyric? Like,
Yeah.
that was not suggestive. That's strange. Like, I remember listening to some Britney Spears song, and they changed like so many of the lyrics, and it was like very unnecessary. I was like, okay, all right, we are really trying to shield the kids way too much. If every adult a part of Kids Bop just sat back and listened to the songs that they were allowed to listen to when they were kids and recognized that they were not actually impacted and didn't actually know what the hell those songs are about, it's fine. It's fine.
Bruh, I remember fucking 6th grade, the remix to Ignition. Hot and fresh out the kitchen.
Mama
Yeah.
rolling that body. I mean, that song slaps, but
I was raging that song in 6th grade. I kind of knew what it meant, but also like I didn't know. I'm fine, I
right.
think.
Right. Well, there's so many like I remember watching Clueless when I was older, and it was one of those things like I watched Clueless so many times as a child, and then when I watched it when I was older, I was like, oh shit, oh, she's talking about her period there, like all these things that I just they so many things go over your head as a child. You just don't have the language to fully grasp like everything that's being said around you. You know, you kind of just make do with like I basically understand what's going on. But the finer intricacies of what people say in movies and in songs and TV, like a lot of that goes over kids' heads.
Mm-hmm.
I think I just didn't have the focus also when I was a child to like actually sit and watch a movie. And now I'm like, if I can't hear every single word in the movie, then I'm like, oh, there's no point in even watching this. And
Yeah,
that's
I
not
get
how
mad
I was
about
when I was a kid.
distractions.
It's like you could make up your own plot line to the story and it wouldn't have fucking mattered.
That's true.
True that. I always have to watch shows with closed captions on at this point in my life because I just can't stand to not know what anyone's saying.
Yeah, I don't watch anything without closed captions. And then I always see people post about how people who watch with closed captions are psychos. I'm like, okay, well, good for you and your golden ears, but I need fucking closed captions.
I need them. I can't do it without them.
I'm a product of technology and the old school analog reading, so I need them both.
Yeah.
I can hear everything else really well except for spoken word.
I also feel like, I don't know, like me and my sister were watching the movie Driver the other night. And, you know, it's one of those things where on shows and movies where the action is so ridiculously loud. And then as soon as they're talking, it's like, and you're like,
Yeah.
what? Do you know what they just said? I have no fucking clue what they just said, you know? So I just put on the closed captions and then keep it down to a volume that I'm chill with. And I'm like, if I can hear them actually talking, cool. If not, I can watch them talking.
That is true. However, I just mean noises in general, like the car going past my house, or the air conditioner that's on, or the fan that's on, or the kid playing next door. Like, I can hear all of those things really well while I'm sitting down to watch a movie, and then I can't. And then the music doesn't help. Then I can't hear what they're saying.
Yes.
It's like an auditory thing.
Yeah. If I hear more than one voice at once, like my brain goes into automatic shock. I'm just like, oh God. Like when my kids are all trying to talk to me or my husband's like, watch this show. And my kid's like, Mommy, I need this. I'm just like, Mommy is broken.
It's so funny how kids do that. They'll just talk to you all at the same time. Like it would not be uncommon, especially during summertime, for there to be like 7 kids around me all talking at the exact same time. And I'd be like,
Oh no.
you guys must realize that there's no way I can understand any of you, right? Like,
Right?
if you don't understand that yet, I need everyone to sit down and reflect upon that scenario.
Take turns. Ugh.
This Power of 3 episode has been brought to you by Tonic Vibe CBD products. Tonic's original CBD blends are handcrafted in small batches with purposeful plant-based ingredients. Using herbs like ashwagandha and superfoods like black seed oil, Tonic elevates the benefits of CBD to create a powerful way to heal the body, calm the mind, and restore balance. Their hemp-derived CBD and botanical blends create a completely holistic method to help you feel your best and #FixYourVibe. Use code WITCHY at tonicvibes.com for 10% off your order.
This episode of the Power of 3 podcast is brought to you by Shock Rubs, because sex is magic. Shock Rubs is the first crystal sex toy company. Their sex toys are made from natural crystals that bring a sense of sacredness to your playtime. These beautiful handcrafted tools are created with the intention of opening oneself up to the healing properties that crystals provide. All toys are body safe, made from the earth, and provided with love. They create harmony in mind, body, and spirit, remove blocks caused by sexual trauma, create deeper intimacy with the self and with your partner, and even encourage self-awareness and mindfulness. So use the code WITCHYWISDOM on shockrubs.com at checkout for 10% off your purchase today.
Okay. Healing. Anybody got anything else?
Pet a dog or
I was
a kitty.
I was gonna say like petting animals is super healing. You know what's interesting
yeah.
about cats purring is that like the frequency of their purrs is healing. There's like actual scientific stuff about it that I've read, but you know my brain doesn't remember the specifics of it. But yeah,
Well, they're like coming from a place of like pure love when they're sitting on you and just purring because they feel safe and comfortable with you.
yeah,
Because they're not gonna come and fucking like sit on the animal trying to eat them.
definitely not. Especially not cats. Yeah, they're
I
they're
just
not
thought they were
coming over.
idling.
yeah, they're just the ignition's on. Robert has a new roommate, and she has 2 cats, and one of them took quite a while to warm up to me. But last time I spent the night there, the cat was in between us, and it was kneading a lot, and it wouldn't stop kneading. You know, sometimes cats just get in a trance, and they just won't stop doing that. And so, like, I grabbed him and was giving him kisses, and I was squeezing him because usually that makes cats like freak out and want to run away, you know, and like stop what they're doing. But instead he just like leaned into me and put his face in me, and then I fell asleep and I woke up an hour later and we were both still there. Jesus, that was
love
healing.
that.
Cute. I love that with one of my bunnies died, but the other bunny, like, you know, I'll pet it and I'll think it wants to jump off of me, and then he like leans in closer, or like he'll do a little tongue thing and like lick me a little bit. And I'm like, oh, you actually like this. You're enjoying this too. It feels so nice.
Is that normal for kittens to kiss your face? Like a lot.
He's just trying to figure out what spices to use when he eats you. He's testing you.
You can't turn the stove on, little guy.
I don't know. No, my parents have kittens right now, and they're not big lickers. You know, every cat is just different.
So different.
Yeah.
Just like humans.
Yeah. They're complicated little weirdos for sure.
I don't like kissing that much. Sometimes.
No?
No, but then I do. It's on my time. I'm a cat.
Gotta warm up.
I'm pretty big into kissing. I mean, there was I had to help Robert move his car one time. Me and our friend Michael helped him, you know, push it down the street into a parking lot. It wasn't working. We pushed it in neutral, you know. And then Rob's like, "Thanks, like I'll pay you guys back." And I was like, "Okay, I want mine in kisses." Kisses only, please.
You're such a dork. I love you.
Whenever he like goes to the store, do you need anything? I'm like, just your love and affection, please.
Yes. Are you sure you're not a
That's
Libra?
also clever. Yeah.
I know, right? I have no Libra placements aside from, where is it? It's my 8th house ruler. Libra rules
Well,
my
there you
8th
go.
house. But yeah, definitely very kissy, cuddly. I need like I was
What is
feeling
your Venus?
Aquarius in the
Aquarius.
12th.
Oh, well, you're just weird.
Yeah, exactly. I am. But yeah, like I was feeling sick yesterday, and so Rob came over. He was like, "Do you need anything?" I was like, "No, I don't need anything. I'm just sad, and I don't want to be sick anymore." And he's like, "Okay, well, do you want me to just come over and kiss you and rub your back?" And I was like, "Yes, actually, that sounds perfect. Thank you." That will help a lot. Definitely, physical touch is very healing. You know, of course, not everyone is down for it, and I get that, and there are many reasons for that. But physical touch is, I very much enjoy physical touch when I'm in the right headspace and I've given consent to someone to touch me. I mean, I will do it to myself as well. Like I practice because physical touch is so important to me. Yeah. I mean, like when I'm putting on lotion, I'll try to like close my eyes and really focus on how it feels. Because like a lot of times we don't, it feels so different to touch yourself than to have someone else touch you. But if you can like concentrate and really like feel the feeling of it, then you can kind of get that burst of love and healing energy.
I like that. That's nice.
You ask yourself for consent first.
Yeah. Is it okay if I touch my butt?
Can I touch?
The answer is always yes.
It is. Yes.
I wouldn't have asked if it wasn't.
Yeah. I definitely like if I'm in a shitty mood, hugs from my husband help a lot. Or even my friends, honestly. Or, you know, if I'm around my parents, hugs from them are really nice. I like hugs a lot. I would say that's my favorite like physical affection is just like a good hug from someone that I like, not a stranger. If a stranger hugs me, I'm like, get the
That's
fuck.
weird.
I don't like, yeah, if we're not close, I don't like any form of physical touch. I don't want to be touched on the hand or like, I'm like, do not touch me.
I was doing a child healing, not a child healing, like inner child healing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And so at the end of it, I like gave myself a hug and was like comforting that part of myself. And I like just broke down into tears and like released all of this stuff that I was holding on to. I don't even know what all I was holding on to. It was just so dense and like how light I became after hugging myself. It was surreal.
Yeah. Absolutely. Hugging your inner child is, yeah, definitely powerful.
That's so sweet. Give little Jess a hug.
And then she cried like she did her whole childhood. And that's okay.
And that's okay. That's okay. All right, you guys. Any more healing modalities you can think of that you'd like to share with the people, the pot coven?
Say your prayers.
That sounds like a death threat.
No, I mean, it does, right? Well,
Say your
in
prayers.
essence, everyone is going to die eventually, so.
That's true.
But yeah, I mean, you don't even have to pray
Keep it
to
real.
anyone. You can just kind of pray in general. But I like it. For me, it's comforting. You don't have to do it if you don't like, but I enjoy it. It's like an energy thing. I'm just like focusing on a person or like an outcome.
Yeah. Energy goes where intention flows,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Similar to like affirmations or any of those other things.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's it for me.
Cool. Well, there's a lot of good tools in here and a lot of good laughs. You know, sounds like us. Tools,
Sick jokes.
tools who laugh. That's us. That's the new title.
Laughing is healing.
Laughing is healing. Have you guys ever done laughing yoga?
No.
Oh, it's a thing. You have to like laugh the whole time.
Do they like help you? Do they put on like a comedy track or you're just supposed to laugh?
No, you just have to laugh.
Well, that should be okay for me because I'm really funny. I can make myself laugh all the time.
Goober. Yeah, some guy that I had a crush on in college got certified to teach laughing yoga. Of course he did.
Oh
Fucking
my
Kyle.
God. His name's Kyle too. Oh
Yeah.
my God. So many
He
things.
was my tango partner. He was a
Of
big
course
hunk
he
of man
was.
too. Yeah. Yeah. Good times, good times. All right, you guys. Thanks for listening. If we left out any, important healing modalities or tools that you use in your practice and you want to share, definitely send us an email at powerof3witchpodcast@gmail.com or send us a DM on Instagram, powerof3podcast over there. You can also reach us on Facebook at Power of Three Podcast. Yep. We've got a Facebook group. We've got a Patreon, which, by the way, we just released, by the time this comes out, it'll be a week ago, but we just released the new astrology forecast. So if you sign up for the 1111 tier, you get a monthly astrology forecast video from moi, and it is up. It is ready for your viewing pleasure, along with many other videos and wonderful, lovely things. So definitely check out our Patreon. You can find that. I'm sure you can type it into patreon.com, Power of Three Podcast, but you can also find it.
Podcast.
Power of Three Witch Podcast. You can also find it through the link in our Instagram bio.
I just did my bug out bag video.
I saw.
Yeah. And if there's anything you want to see us create, let us know. Send us an email. We'll get on it.
Hell yeah. All right, you guys. We will talk to you next week. We will continue talking about different types of magic and all the different tools and modalities that we have in our toolbox for that specific type of magic. I wonder what next week will be. You'll just have to listen to find out.
Am I laughing or choking on a clock?
It's evil laughter yoga. You just have to mwahaha the whole time.
I could do that.
That could be fun.
That'd be very fun.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Keep on healing on.